Through her ayahuasca journey, she was telling me how one moment she feels like she's a psychic. The next moment she felt like she was a healer. The next moment she turned me into a mermaid. I was being as supportive as I could. She even went as far as telling me that she was the reincarnated Virgin Mary. And that she no longer wanted to have sex with me, and she didn't want to use her body in that way. You guys put yourself in my shoes, and if your significant other told you that they were the Virgin Mary and no longer wanted to have sex with you, what would you do?
In the past 24 hours, Catherine McBroom from the Ace family has been causing a serious stir online. And it's getting intense. A juicy excerpt from her upcoming book, Dolores, My Journey Home, exploded all over social media before the book even dropped. The official release is set for July 1st, but that didn't stop folks from sharing screenshots everywhere. The biggest shocker? Catherine is accusing Austin of cheating on her with multiple women while she was pregnant. Yep, multiple. In one raw and emotional chapter, Catherine pours her heart out, revealing that it wasn't just about the betrayal. It was about realizing her whole reality was fake. She writes about the deep heartbreak of living in what felt like a lie, and people are eating it up. Now, old videos from Ace family events have started resurfacing. And wow, they hit different now. In one clip, she even talks about the exact moment she found out Austin was being unfaithful. These old videos are going viral all over again, and fans are shook. The way Catherine's eyes look in those clips, the pain is written all over her face. And now it's all starting to make sense. Since the drama popped off, Austin's Instagram comment section has been blowing up. People are calling him out hard, saying he's full of pride, too caught up in himself, and now getting dragged for his alleged cheating. And after staying silent through all the heat, Austin has finally spoken out. All right, let's break down exactly what Austin had to say. But first, we gotta talk about the reaction. Before even getting into his response, the internet has already spoken loud and clear. Austin dropped his side of the story in a string of Snapchat videos. Yeah, Snapchat. Not Instagram, not YouTube. It's got people wondering, is he trying to keep it low-key? Maybe he didn't want too many eyes on the real him. Still, the clips didn't stay hidden for long. They started popping up all over TikTok, and the comments? Brutal. One of the top comments, which racked up over 15,000 likes in just 1 hour, said, "One thing about a narcissist, they're gonna play victim." Ouch. The next one hit just as hard. No accountability whatsoever. Mad, sad, blindsided. Imagine how she felt.
I never expected to be here today to talk to you guys what I'm about to get ready to talk to you guys about. I never wanted to talk about this for many reasons. I think the biggest reason is to protect the most important people in my life, which is the mother of my kids and my kids. But I have been left with no choice. I'm feeling all type of emotions right now. I'm sad, I'm mad. I feel that I've been blindsided. Blindsided because, as you guys know, and what you guys have seen for the past 1.5 years, Catherine and I have the best co-parenting situation that any parent can ever ask for. We actually have a better relationship now than we did when we were married. I look at Catherine as a best friend, someone that I talk to every day, not just about her kids, but about life. She called me last week about her boyfriend, how he had a homeless guy sleeping in his car. I was just over her house, bringing the kids pizza, not just the kids, but her and her boyfriend pizza. We were all sitting in her living room, eating the pizza, laughing and smiling. And then the next morning is when the snippet of her book comes out, and it talks about how I'm a terrible person and how I was a terrible.
And speaking of Catherine, she's clearly been going through it. She even teared up while promoting her book recently, and she looked genuinely heartbroken. It's not just fans noticing either. A lot of folks are saying they tried to warn her, even some of her own family. Word on the street is that Shyla was dropping hints, allegedly telling her Austin was cheating, but Catherine didn't want to believe it at the time. Now that emotions are high and the internet's in flames, let's get into what Austin actually said in response to all the backlash ever since Catherine's bombshell book came to light. So Austin comes out swinging, claiming he was set up. He basically threw shade at Catherine, questioning the whole purpose of her book, like, isn't this supposed to be an autobiography? Why are you making this all about me? He sounded pressed. For real. Then it gets even messier. In the next clip, Austin drops audio recordings of Catherine. Yes, actual recordings.
Book. was manipulated and she did not tell the full truth, which is why I'm here today to tell you guys the full truth and to tell you guys what really happened.
He said he had a feeling this day would come and recorded their convos just in case she ever tried to air him out. That's wild. He straight up admitted he predicted she'd expose him, so he came prepared with receipts to twist the story and make her look bad. Kinda shady, right? He plays another recording where Catherine supposedly says she hates when women go after their husbands. But it just feels off, like he's trying to distract everyone from the real issue.
You guys know that I'm gonna have receipts throughout this entire video, and the reason why I have some of these receipts is because I knew that one day there was a possibility of something like this happening. And you guys have seen it time and time again where couples break up and there's always some sort of exposing. And so I just wanted to be able to have my own truth just in case something like this happened. And this is why I have certain recordings. So as you can see the date on here, I filmed that video on June 12th, which was a week before we announced our separation on Instagram. Here is a recording which was on January 13th, which was the day after I filmed this video. And this was her response on why she felt I shouldn't post the video.
So it's okay?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't have to worry about like you like saying something like after and stuff?
So I'm basically asking her like, what is okay for me to say? She showed me her statement that she had, and I was like, okay, well, I had no say in that. You're doing what you want to do. Am I allowed to do what I want?
No, you just say you were happy.
I'm just asking.
Just, like say what you said in your video. I just think your video would have been, you would have had a lot of backlash. I think this way is much more organic.
So as you heard what she said that if I was going to release this video, I would get a lot of backlash, as if she cared about me getting backlash. What is happening now? You would expect her to be okay with, back then, we were separating at that time, but to be okay with me getting backlash or her saying what she needed to say back then. But a year and a half later, you didn't want me to put this video out because you didn't want me to get backlash. Then what's happening right now?
Then he brings up the Ace Family basketball charity event. You know, the one Catherine talked about in her book where she felt completely dismissed? Austin tries to spin it, but here's the jaw dropper. He finally admits to cheating on her. Yup, he confesses to stepping outside their marriage. But let's be real, would he even be admitting anything if Catherine didn't expose him in the first place? Honestly, it seems like he only came clean because the internet is dragging him. And it gets even spicier. Remember Monica Bush from that charity event? She came out with a whole video exposing text messages that allegedly show Austin trying to link up with her under the excuse of doing some business. He really tried to pull a Netflix and chill move disguised as a deal? Come on now. After Monica Bush's video dropped, things really started spiraling.
I'm basically just asking her if it's okay for me to tell how I feel in my side of the story. And this is what she proceeds to say.
Okay, it's good. That's
Because
good.
now I'm finally...
But I'm saying, I'm glad you're saying that.
But I do
so you don't have to keep reverting back to...
But I do agree. What you're saying is that you don't want to feel like you're being attacked in any way or like I'm...
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep worrying about you
I don't want to...
Because my concern was that, is she going to keep bringing me up time and time again for however long? So I'm asking her, hey, if you're going to continue to do this, then I'm going to have to do it as well.
I feel like that because I don't want you to worry about that because that's not the case.
Okay,
And I want you to know that that's not the case.
I know, but
I'm not here
But again,
to torch you. Because if that was the case, if you really truly think about it, that would have happened years ago. That was really my way, my
Yeah, but you know how people are after breakups. It's like, no, I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general, right? Would you agree that women are like,
Sure,
they
they're
keep,
fucked up.
yeah, they
It's
keep,
fucking weird.
they keep
Yeah.
fucking, they playing the victim, like,
I fucking can't
oh my
stand that
God, that's what I'm saying.
She said that I can't stand that shit when women expose their man after they break up. They're fucking weak. It's literally what she said. And that's literally what she said.
Screenshots of the alleged texts between her and Austin had everyone doing double takes, and fans were quick to point out how casual he was with the whole thing. Like, seriously? This man was out here talking about business, but behind the scenes, he was allegedly trying to set up something way more shady. And what's wild is how calm Monica seemed while exposing him. She didn't even sound surprised, like she had seen right through him from the jump. People are now calling her the final straw that made Catherine snap and finally tell her truth in the book. Meanwhile, the Ace Family fan base is in shambles. Some are defending Austin, saying Catherine's just bitter and trying to sell her book. But others? They've had enough. They're bringing up old red flags, moments from vlogs, awkward interviews, weird energy at events, and saying, we should have seen this coming. And guess what? More women are sliding into the conversation now, too. A few are even claiming they had their own weird run-ins with Austin at parties or in DMS. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but the buzz is loud. Every hour there's a new screenshot, a new claim, a new layer of mess. Catherine hasn't responded to Austin's audio clips or his confession yet, but fans are waiting, like really waiting. If she claps back again, oh, it's gonna break the internet. Again. Now, the pressure's building on Austin in a major way, not just from fans, but from brands, sponsors, and even other influencers who've worked with the Ace family before. People are unfollowing, distancing, and doing damage control like crazy. It's like everyone wants to wipe their hands clean before things get even messier. Insiders are whispering that some past collabs might get dropped, and potential deals are already being put on pause. Nobody wants to be caught standing next to a scandal this big, especially with Austin's reputation on the line.
And to show that that is proof that I had another girl there that I was supposedly talking to and I was cheating on her with, when that is not true at all. Think about this. Why would I invite another girl there when this whole event is about my family and this event is about me and Catherine's bond? Why would I want that girl to see that? Me hugging and kissing and grabbing my wife's ass. You guys didn't want to show these clips. Me holding my wife's hand. But you guys want to bring up a clip where it was 5 seconds of a video of me giving my speech, and then when I get...
Meanwhile, Catherine's book Dolores is already getting crazy pre-orders. She hasn't even done a full promo tour yet, and the numbers are reportedly flying up. People want to hear her full side, unfiltered and raw, straight from her own words, not buried behind someone else's defense videos. Fans are also digging into Catherine's older content now, trying to piece things together. They're pointing out interviews where she looked tense, clips where she seemed distant, and moments where it looked like she was holding something in. It's like everything has a new meaning now that the truth's spilling out. And through all this chaos, Austin's still trying to spin the narrative, posting selfies, acting unbothered, while dropping random positive vibes, quotes in his stories. But at this point, it's not really landing. The internet's calling it out for what it is. Damage control. Now everyone's just watching and waiting. What's Catherine gonna say next? Is there more to come? 'Cause it sure feels like this story isn't over yet.
Get into the cheating. When it comes to me stepping out of my marriage, I did. I 100% stepped out of my marriage, and it was completely wrong for me to do it. I take full accountability. If I can go back and change it, I would, and I'm sorry for that. I truly am. But when it comes to her acting like she had no idea what was going on, that is a complete lie. Catherine knew what I was dealing with for a very long time. I would come to her and I would voice how I feel about how I felt like I was getting no affection from her. There was a year period where we had no sex, and I would vent to her telling her what I needed. And her exact words verbatim, all my kids, she said, "Just don't make me look dumb. Don't embarrass me." I don't know what that means to you guys, but to me it sounds like, go do whatever you need to do, because I'm not capable of giving you what you need.
So now, fans are starting to speculate that Catherine might have been dropping hints about all this drama way before the book even became a thing. People are going back through her Instagram captions, TikToks, and even old Ace family videos. And suddenly, it's like all the little signs are adding up. In one throwback post, she wrote something like, "Healing in silence hits different." At the time, it seemed deep. But now, fans are saying that was code for the chaos going on behind closed doors.
I told you guys that back in 2018, 2019, I basically ruined her life because I stepped out of our marriage and she had no idea. When that is not true at all. She knew exactly what I was doing and when I was doing it. So much to where she stayed with me another 5-6 years after that. She continued to film every YouTube video with me after that. She even went as far as defending me, defending my name when people would ask her about me stepping.
Even her body language in some old vlogs is getting analyzed. People are picking up on the forced smiles, the awkward glances, the way she'd look at Austin like something just wasn't right. And what's really sparking conversation is how long she stayed silent. Like she carried this secret through pregnancies, through their YouTube highs, through all the public praise. And now that it's finally out there, it's like she's breathing for the first time, even if it hurts. Meanwhile, some fans are turning their attention to the kids. They're begging people to stop dragging the drama into the children's lives, reminding everyone that this is still a family and the little ones didn't ask for any of this. Respecting their space has become a priority for a lot of longtime followers.
And I couldn't relate. And it got so bad to the point where she was doing it once a month. She became addicted. Usually people do it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times in their entire life, but she was doing it once a month. And this is where, during this process and her going out, traveling and going on retreats, she found somebody. And I came across their messages and I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand it. But she told me that they were friends that met through their spiritual journey on one of these retreats. Just friends. Here are the messages that I came across that I didn't know what to think of it. And that's why I took her word and believed her, because I had no idea what the fuck this meant. What does that mean? What type of language is that? No idea. But as time was going on, it started to show that this is somebody that she was connecting with. And unfortunately, when you guys found out, I found out way.
Still, Catherine's silence since Austin's response is starting to get loud. You know that kind of silence where everyone's just waiting for the next bomb to drop? Yeah, that's where we're at. And if she does respond, whew, it could flip everything on its head again. Right now, the internet feels split. On one side, you've got people completely riding for Catherine, saying she's finally taking control of her story and exposing years of lies. They're calling her brave, resilient, and saying this book might be the closure she's needed all along. But on the other side, there's a growing group of Austin supporters calling the whole thing a publicity stunt. They're claiming the book release was too perfectly timed and that Catherine's trying to cash in on sympathy. Some are even accusing her of ruining the brand they built together. But others are clapping back, saying the brand was already built on smoke and mirrors.
Know the full truth and why it happened. Again, I'm going to repeat over and over again that I'm completely wrong for doing what I did. I take full accountability. I have grown. I'm not that person anymore. We're talking 6-7 years ago.
And while all this online chaos continues, neither of them is confirming if they're officially separated or headed for divorce. That silence is just adding more fuel to the speculation. Are they still under the same roof? Are they co-parenting? Is this all setting up for a final goodbye? Nobody knows. And that mystery is driving fans wild. What's even crazier is that a few influencers who used to be close with them are starting to unfollow. And some are even posting cryptic things like, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. The shade is real right now. All eyes are still locked on Catherine. If she speaks again, if she posts even a single sentence, it's gonna get picked apart like crazy. But one thing's for sure. This is no longer just internet gossip. It's turned into one of the wildest YouTube family unravelings we've seen in a long time. Now here's where things take another wild turn. Fans think Austin might be prepping for his own full-on tell-all. Word is, he's been reaching out to a few content creators behind the scenes, trying to clear his name with some exclusive interviews. Like he wants to flip the narrative and make people see his side before it's too late. Allegedly, he's even been teasing a potential podcast appearance where he'll speak his truth and drop some of his own receipts. But folks aren't buying it. They're calling it Damage Control 2.0 and saying it's just another distraction to shift the heat off him. Especially now that Catherine's book is building momentum by the day, and more people are believing her than ever. Some fans are even joking like, imagine Austin dropping a YouTube docuseries called My Side, unbothered vibes and all. But honestly, it wouldn't be a surprise at this point. Meanwhile, Catherine is still staying silent. No Instagram stories, no interviews, no sub-tweets. And that silence is hitting harder than any response could right now. People are admiring how she's letting her book speak for itself, while Austin's over here scrambling to keep his image from crashing completely. This whole situation has evolved from a family drama to full-on public warfare, with receipts, confessions, and a growing list of people choosing sides. And every time it seems like things might cool down, another twist pops up and blows it wide open again. Just when everyone thought things couldn't get messier, boom, more tea gets spilled. A new TikTok went viral showing an alleged DM between Austin and a fan from way back, with him allegedly flirting while he was still publicly playing the family man role. The timing of it? Sketchy. And now, people are digging through old screenshots, trying to piece together a full timeline of his behavior. There's even a thread going viral on Twitter, where fans are organizing receipts, interviews, shady moments, and questionable clips all in one place like it's a digital courtroom. It's giving true crime energy, but for YouTube drama. Meanwhile, whispers are spreading that Catherine's team is gearing up for a major press week closer to the book release. Some sources say she might finally break her silence in a sit-down interview. And you already know everyone's going to be tuning in if that happens. If she confirms more behind-the-scenes details, it's game over. And while this all plays out in public, fans are begging both sides to keep the kids out of it. There's already been fake stories, edited clips, and random gossip flying around. So people are reminding everyone, don't let the internet turn this into a circus that affects the children's peace. Still, the drama doesn't seem to be slowing down. People are glued to every update like it's a soap opera, and no one's logging off anytime soon. The Ace family empire is clearly cracking, and the world's watching it fall in real time. At this point, the timeline just lined up too perfectly. And the internet was convinced. Austin cheated. Then, boom, he finally admitted it himself. Not that it made things better, the damage had already been done. But still, he tried to explain his side. Austin revealed that Catherine actually stayed with him for 5 or 6 years after the cheating went down. He tried to use that to soften the blow, like, if it was that bad, why'd she stay? But let's be real, that's not the win he thinks it is. Then he got into some deep stuff, saying the more Catherine tapped into her spiritual side, the more he felt like they drifted apart. He even mentioned that their whole vibe started changing, and eventually, the bond they once had started fading. He claims it was like watching her grow into a version of herself he didn't recognize. Austin also spoke about their co-parenting situation, saying it'll never be the same. He circled back again to Catherine's spiritual awakening, like that was the reason for the shift. Not the cheating, not the lies, but her growth. And honestly, judging by the comments, people aren't buying any of it. Fans are calling him out for trying to flip the narrative, play the victim, and gaslight the situation now that he's been publicly exposed. Most believe he only spoke out because Catherine aired it all out. Plain and simple. But what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. We're keeping it all the way real over here.